Okay, everyone, today should be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you a way to do a hack for modes. Well, there's a lot of confusion around modes, so I want to show you this one form today. We're going to play some notes on the keyboard to really play over a backing track. We're going to create our own sounds today to play over. And what I want you to do is I really want you to take this one shape I show you today and be able to derive all 7 modes, okay? And also kind of know what you're doing at first. Later you can go in depth and go on the website at theartofguitar.com and really go in depth with each mode to figure out what's really going on. But for today I want you just to play them, have this quick hack to have access to all 7 of them, and then really listen to them and see the different qualities between each one, okay? So if we were to start here, this is the scale shape we're going to use today. It's known as the red form on the color system that we do on the website. It's just a 3-note per string. It's a very symmetrical scale shape. So it's a 3-note per string scale shape. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start on the E string, the 6th string, and we're going to go 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then we're going to copy that on the next string. So the notes there are G, A, B, C, D, E. Then on the next couple strings, we're going to go 4th fret to 5th fret to 7th fret. This is why it's so symmetrical, because it just doubles on every 2 strings. Okay, so that was 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. The notes were F sharp, G, A, B, C, and D. So we're just doing a G major scale to start off. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Now on the final 2 strings that we're going to do, we're going to go 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. So the notes will be E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. So with this shape, we're going to play all 7 modes, all right? So to start off, if you begin on the first note, which is G, and you play this shape, traveling up and back down, doesn't really matter. We're just going to think of this as our starting point. You're going to be playing the Ionian mode. So we'll call this G Ionian. Now to really hear the sound of it, I'm not just going to play the scale like this. Okay, I'm actually going to play a G tone in the background using my keyboard, and then I'm going to play over the top of it so you can hear it, play it against its own root note. All right, so here's a G note. Let's do a higher one so you can really hear it. All right. That is the sound of Ionian. Now, if you really get to know the whole steps and half steps, which we study on the website, that's when you can instantly recall them for all the other forms we do in the future. But for right now, just think of it as when you start on the first note of this form, you're going to get Ionian. So G Ionian on that example. Okay, so now here's the best part. If you simply start on the next note and still play the same form, we're not going to move up or down, anything like that. We're going to stay in the same spot. With your middle finger now, we're just going to start here on A. We're going to continue up the form that we were doing earlier, and now we're going to have A Dorian. Now, because you're starting on the next note, as you climb up, the half steps and whole steps change from the previous mode, so it's going to sound different. To really hear this, I'm going to play that tone behind it. We're going to play an A tone behind it, but for right now, listen to it. Hear that minor sound to it? Dorian's a really interesting sound. All right, so I'm going to go starting on the A note. I'm going to play that A tone. I'm going to cruise all the way up as high as I can in the form, come back, and I'm going to do something interesting at the end, so keep an eye out. Okay, here we go. You see what I did? This is very important. A lot of people, when they're playing a mode, they'll come back and they'll stop on the A in this example. But I like to go down to the lowest note of the form to show you that you can include it and then come back at the very end to the A. It's just a good practice to train your ear and your fingers to show you that you don't have to come back and stop necessarily on whatever note you're trying to do the mode for. Instead, you can continue down the full form, but then come back to it. It's just a good practice. Okay, now let's go to the B note. So it's going to be the 3rd note of the form that we're doing. And this is going to be called Phrygian. So we have B Phrygian. This one's really bizarre because right off the bat, we go half step. So it's going to sound a little bit bizarre. Okay, here we go. I love that one because it's so evil sounding right off the bat. It's got that real gross minor second sound. I love it. Okay, so you guys are noticing, I hope, that I'm cruising all the way up the form, all the way back down, and then stopping on whatever note I started on. Okay, let's go to the next one. C. This is going to be Lydian. This is going to sound very dreamy. I always picture being on a magic carpet floating in the sky whenever I hear Lydian. This will be C Lydian. So I'm going to play a C note in the background. Okay, I played a little bit extra because I really wanted you guys to hear that raised fourth sound. It had that very magical sound when I hit it. It almost sounds out of place at first, but really get your ear used to that because it really works out in the future. It's a very usable mode. All right, we're on to D now. We're on the fifth note, starting on the fifth note of what we originally did, and that's going to be the Mixolydian mode. All right, here we go. A lot of people notice with Mixolydian that it sounds like a major scale, or Ionian mode, it sounds like, but there's a flat 7, so something just sounds different about it. Your ear wants to hear this at first, but that's not Mixolydian. Mixolydian has that flatted 7. Okay, that one's a fun one to improvise over, so make sure you give that one a lot of attention, because it's going to come up a lot in your life. Okay, next one, we're on E. And this takes us to the Aeolian mode, and this is just going to be our natural minor typically, but we're going to go with the mode name today, Aeolian. Play this over E. Here we go. If you could play like a single note in the background and improvise in a mode, it gets real trancey. I mean, you could just go into this trance and practice, and I don't know, it's a fun way to relax while you're playing, I guess. Okay, let's do the final one. We're already on the 7th mode here, so this is kind of crazy. We're going to be on the F sharp, and that's going to be the Locrian mode. This one has a pretty wild sound as well. All right, so I'm going to play an F sharp over here. Okay, so that was F sharp Locrian. That one sounds pretty evil. It's got that half step right off the bat. And you also have the flatted 5. So lots of dissonance happening, which I love. Okay, then after that, we're back to G and it just starts over. So G Ionian. I mean, you could start here now. But, you know, it's the same as if starting down here note-wise. But go ahead and do that just so you get a practice throughout the entire form. Since this is such a gigantic form, this red form is just a beast, be sure to get through all of it as much as possible. And remember, go all the way to the end, come all the way to the beginning, and then stop wherever you started, okay? Okay, so hopefully that could bail you out if you ever need to play a mode and you can't quite remember how it goes. You can at least remember this form and remember where the starting point was for that particular mode and go from there. It's a great way to get yourself out of maybe a situation where you're a little bit lost and you have to just bail yourself out really quick. It's a good one to go to. Okay, so use this mode hack and let me know how it goes for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and we'll catch you guys soon. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.